This lesson is on our GST and VAT. So income tax is a tax that we pay on how much you earn, and the GST and VAT are taxes on what you spend. Okay, so this is the difference here. So in Australia, GST or goods and services tax is 10%, and it's not charged on essential items like food and rent. When a price is listed, 9 times out of 10, it's going to have the GST included. If you get quotes for building things, it might say this is the price without GST, and then they add it on. But at their final amount, it will always have that GST being included. Other countries like New Zealand has 15% and Canada is 7%. And in some countries, it's called VAT or value added tax. So this is particular in England. It's often listed as a before tax, and then the tax is added on when the customer pays. So it is really careful if you do travel to be mindful. On the tickets, it will say something like this price before VAT or before tax. So you need to then add that price on yourself. So a TV costs $1,299 plus 10% GST. We need to calculate the selling price. So 10% as a decimal is 0.1. So we need to find that 0.1 of our $12.99. So 10% of that is $129.90. And then I would add it on. So my $12.99 plus $129.90 would tell me that that TV is $1,428.90. Now there is a little shortcut that we can use to make this a little bit easier for the future. So GST is adding 10%. So if I add 10% to 100%, I get 110%, which as a decimal is 1.1. So if I am trying to find the price after GST, we're multiplying whatever the price is by 1.1, and that will find the price after GST is added. So if we were to do this just in with using this, it would be 1299 times 1.1, and that would give us in one step our 1428.90. So it's really important to use this little shortcut because it can save just that little extra step in there. Okay, so next one, a hamburger costs $8 including GST. What is the original price of the hamburger before GST was added? So again, if we're finding the price after GST, we multiply by 1.1. If we want to find the price before GST, we're actually going to divide by 1.1. So if we divide by 1.1, it's finding the price before GST. Or to find the actual GST on an item, we would divide by 11. So that is finding the actual GST. So in this question, I want to find the price before GST. So it was $8. If I divide it by 1.1, that tells me that the hamburger before GST was $7.27. What I could do to find how much GST was added was say 8 minus $7.27. But if a question asked you, you could just find that out by saying 8 divided by 11 is 0.72. And if we were to add that on, that is going to give us what our price of that meal or that hamburger is with the GST. Last example, a souvenir from London was £48 before VAT and $57.60 after. What was the rate of VAT charged? So if we look at, we have £57.60 minus our £48, and that gives us a total of $9.60. So when we're finding the rate of VAT that was charged, it's the amount of tax. So the amount of tax over the original amount. So our amount of tax is $9.60 and the original amount was $48, and we would times by 100. So that tells us that our VAT is 20%.